An ability assessment is a way to determine the roles and responsibilities that require the least effort and are enjoyable for the students. Task proposed. Here, the teachers should know as specifically as possible what you want to test. Then we have it should not be too simple or too hard for students. Then we have the access someone you must ensure that the knowledge is in the minds of the learners. In other side, a test is not useful for evaluate the student. Task proposed. Here, proposed for this test is be careful with the reviews the students know or are able to do based on what they actually acquire in a curriculum. This is very important. Other way to obtain a proposal is make some questions. For example, what exactly are the students responsible to find out, or what language abilities do you propose to assess? And finally, we have appropriate objective and defining the abilities to assess that is important and is based on the learner's needs.
Okay, every curriculum should have a appropriately framed, accessible constructs stated in terms of performance by students. Okay, it means that a curriculum must have a use of the language in a context so that students can develop their skills and at the same time be able to use the language in the class. And okay, we can mention just the grammar focus of the lesson because actually it cannot be tested. So for that reason, we must integrate a context. It would be the better idea where they can be evaluated and not only focus on learning by heart. Students will be able to produce the language. It means that they could have the opportunity to develop their skills in listening, reading, and in order to produce the language. We must design a test in order to determine our students' abilities and at the same time evaluate their abilities.
I'm going to talk about a grammar unit test. A grammar unit test is one of the mainstays of the language testing. It can be argued that the basic knowledge of grammar underlines and the ability to use the language to express meaning. Okay, this test assesses the ability to recognize or produce the grammar with correct use. For example, the institution has a curriculum which defines a topic to be studied. For example, in the unit 1, the student can study present simple and simple past, in which students can improve their skills like listening, speaking, writing, and reading, and working with abilities with comprehension and production, in which students can recognize and put in practice the oral and writing forms with present simple and present and simple past. Using a list of verbs, create a paragraph or create a conversation is depend of the instruction of the teacher.
So here we have another example of how to show the abilities in the test. We have the grammar test. We have, for example, topics like tag questions, simple past tense in negative, and then we have the communication skills like guessing what happened, finding out who did something, talking about family and friends. That if you realize that showed the abilities that the students are going to develop in the grammar activity. So, and then we have in the second picture in a specific way each skill or ability that the students are going to develop, and in each skill we have the different activities about grammar. So that's in a specific way. So as a conclusion, the definition of abilities to be assessed is based on the fact that it's really important before create a test to determine what the students know based on the contents or units and what they are able to do. So also determine the abilities that we want to assess. For example, if we want to assess grammar and if we want to make that test more valid, it's necessary to implement the four skills. And so in that case, the students are going to develop reading, writing, listening, and speaking in the use of grammar.